And now, to the millions and millions of listeners and viewers all across the world, it's the That's Not Christian podcast.
Let's go.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Switch. I'm here with your man Jimmy. I'm here with your boy Jay. And what's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling?
Amazing. Life is beautiful. God is good.
God is good.
And resurrected.
Woo!
Yo, did y'all notice that Saturday the date was 4-3-2-1?
No, I did not.
It was the countdown. Son.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
And then yesterday was Resurrection Sunday, right?
That's right.
And this morning, Cali had an earthquake.
3 earthquakes.
Like,
wow.
I only felt one.
Oh,
I was like, Lord, is that you? Is that you, Lord? You know what I mean?
It was crazy.
I was asleep, bro, and I felt like, I felt the shaking, right? I felt the shit like it was rolling, right? And I was like, I turned to my wife, and I was like, she was asleep, and I was like, is that an earthquake? And she's like, yeah. And then we just went back to sleep. That
y'all
was
ain't get ready. Y'all ain't put on y'all stuff and be like,
nah, because it was light, bro. It was light. It was a 4, right? So it wasn't that bad. It was kind of like, man, if you never experienced an earthquake, it's kind of like when you get on a roller coaster, you know, when it's taking off or when it's like coming back in, like that little shaking. It's not a whole lot. It's not a lot. It's not big. And just being that I've experienced like stronger ones, I wasn't really like, I was waiting for it because usually what you do is like it starts off small and then it gets bigger, right? Pause. And then so I was like sitting there waiting, like, is this gonna get worse? And then it didn't. I was like, all right, cool, we good. You know, we had another one last year? Last year where it seemed like it was going on for like almost a minute. It might have just been like, you know, in my mind, but it seemed like it was a long time, longer than usual, because usually it's only a couple of seconds, you know.
Yeah.
And I was concerned that time, but this time I was like, I went back to sleep. And then I woke up and I found out that there was 3, and I was like, wait, what? There was 3. So, you know, it is what it is. Praise God though, man.
Yeah.
So how was y'all Easter, man?
It was normal, like a normal Sunday. Just went out to eat, had brunch, and then we were watching church on the way. Yeah, I went to church. Well, we were watching church on the way to brunch.
My man multitasking. Wow. I like
that. You already know. Yeah, and then
Yo, New York Christians are different, man.
They are, man.
Yeah, well, we can't really congregate like that.
Oh, word. Really, the churches are still closed?
No, I mean, for the city, yeah.
The city, okay. You switch? You went to church?
Nah, I watched it.
Heathens, man. Y'all some heathens. I'm only saying that because I went to church.
And I watched it online.
Okay.
But the congregation I've been watching, they're open. They're like, they had a full service and all that.
Yeah. You know, I made plans to go just because I wanted to go with the family, because it's rare for my wife to have like a Sunday off, right? And so I was like, I want to go, you know, because it's Easter and whatnot. And at the last minute, I was kind of like, man, we should just catch it online. I really don't feel like going and looking for parking and have to deal with everybody. Because, you know, Easter and Christmas is like the days where like all the heathens go, right? Like you ain't been to church all year, but you're going to go for Easter, you know.
Right. Those 2 dates. Yeah.
People like me, you know.
It's the Super Bowl.
Right.
Super Bowl for churches.
Right. So at the last minute, I was kind of like, man, I should just catch it online. I could make some breakfast, you know what I'm saying? All that. And then, but we ended up going and it was cool, man. We sat outside though.
Okay.
We didn't go inside the sanctuary.
Right.
Yeah, nope. It was cool. It was
so
real cool.
no Easter eggs or no bunnies.
We gonna talk about it?
But Ishtar.
Ishtar, yeah. I seen. Shout out to Hurt, man. Shout out to Hurt. He dropped a sermon in the CHH chat, and I thought that's what he was gonna talk about, right? He was gonna talk about the myths of Easter, right? And he started talking about all the feasts, right? And the Passover feast and whatnot, and and Jesus, not resurrecting on Sunday. You know what I mean? Which was an interesting point because when we left church on Sunday, that's kind of like one of the things that we had a conversation in the car about. I was like, the only thing we went to Grace. I was like, the only thing I didn't agree with was Johnny Mac saying that Jesus resurrected on Sunday, and that's why we celebrate Easter Sunday. And I was like, I don't know about that, son, but.
Well, so people aren't for sure though, right? Because it was after the sundown, right? So and for the Hebrews or the Israelites, it's
right
sundown and sunset, right?
Right. So the Sabbath starts Friday night.
Right.
And Jesus was brought down from the cross before the Sabbath, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean that he was brought down Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sabbath is Friday night. And then, do the math, count 3 days from there.
Yeah. But what they're saying is that the word Sabbath is one of the feast days, was another word for a feast day.
Right. But see, Johnny Mac didn't say that. He said he was sticking to Good Friday to Sunday.
Oh,
you know
what
I'm saying?
I seen someone online defending that too.
So he was sticking to that, and I was like, I can't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to say that it's Sunday, then Jesus had to be crucified. Thursday or
Wednesday.
Thursday,
I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah, whatever. It wasn't Good Friday, is what I'm saying.
Chuck, what's his name? Chuck Messler.
Yeah. Gospel was on to him. Yeah, that was a good one, right?
A good one.
Yeah.
Because he broke it down with the 14 of Nissan, and that was the day. And then there's I had shared an article. I knew about this a while ago too, but one of the early like church bishops, Polycarp, him and a bishop in Rome.
You shared an article.
Yeah, him and a bishop in Rome.
Hold on. Make sure you follow us on Telegram, follow our channel, because you could get all of these things that we talking about, all the videos, all the topics that you hear us talk about. Like, you can catch that all of that in our Telegram chat, and that's in the comments below. Go ahead, man. Yo, shout out to Ant, man. Yo, so Ant's not here. Pray for that brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we told him to take a seat, like Rory, like Joe Bunnings told Rory, take a seat, We couldn't mute his mic, so we like, yo, this one you're just gonna have to sit out, all right?
Right. He was threatening to punch people in the face and everything.
Nah, but pray for our brother. Our brother's not feeling well, so make sure y'all pray for him. Man.
Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Nah, so good. I mean, you ain't interrupting nothing, man. We talking, we chatting here. But yeah, so the bishop Polycarp, he went to Rome, and they had a disagreement about celebrating the day of Passover. It's never really about Easter, because that word Easter and all that wasn't even there.
Right.
But the church in Rome, the bishop in Rome, whose name was Victor, he was like, well, we celebrate the resurrection, which was a Sunday, which makes it kind of interesting, because they did celebrate the resurrection on a Sunday. So the issue with them was like, yo, what date? And Polycarp was saying, yo, look, the apostles, the disciples, they all kept this tradition, because Polycarp is the closest one to, I believe, John.
Right.
So he was like, yo, this is the tradition. But then they had a little disagreement, but it wasn't nothing. And they were like, you know what? When we take communion right now in celebration and have peace at the end of the day, because it's about having that.
Yo, that was dope to me, man. That was dope. That stood out to me. Out of the whole article, that's what stood out to me the most.
Yeah.
Like that was like, yo, it's cool. Y'all want to
celebrate? Disagree, pretty much.
Right. Because they said that they realized that they were going to persuade each other. You know what I mean? So you celebrated on your day, I'll celebrate on my day, as long as the Lord is glorified. You know?
Yeah. I mean, Victor's whole thing was we're going to celebrate the resurrection, and Polycarp was just like, yo, we just doing Passover, which is how we normally do it.
Right.
Even though we do still celebrate this resurrection,
but they did it all in one day, right? They did it all in one day.
Was in one day, pretty much. But actually, Victor supposedly he had gotten rebuked because he was trying to excommunicate them. Like,
he was. Yeah. I saw that.
They was being heretics and stuff like that. And if you read a lot about church fathers, you see how they have a lot of pushback towards the law and Sabbath and all these things.
But, I was also reading that a lot of that came after Constantine, because a lot of the persecution was like done away with, and so because it was a time of peace, like dudes just wanted to beef and start calling dudes heretics and apostates and all that.
Yo, some of them church fathers was gangster. They was on some excommunicate, hand you all types of like, yo, we gotta kill this dude.
right. We'll see none of that today, man. We'll see that today.
So y'all saying Easter eggs are no-goes? It's un-Christ-like?
I don't know. I mean, I have my mixed feelings about it. You know what I mean? Because I mean, people try to equate that with. So what was it? Ishtar?
Yeah.
Was a goddess of fertility,
right?
But there's no real connection. Like, there's no real connection with Easter and that. You know what I mean? Like, they already were celebrating the resurrection of Christ on Sunday before for a while, pretty much.
Right.
But we do know that they celebrate. Easter is considered new beginning, new life. And the bunny is considered that, and eggs and stuff like that. So they equate that with sexuality and things of that nature, because that's what the fertility god was all about, like being overly sexual and stuff like that. So it's just interesting because there's no real connection between the two, but there are similarities. And people say, and Hurt was actually speaking about this, that this is the same spirit pretty much that's been just passed down since Babylon and Tammuz and all them other gods, and it's just infiltrated into American culture. My only mixed feelings is like, if a kid is eating chocolate bunny bars, like, are they sacrificing to another idol? Is that like, you know what I mean, idolatry? I don't know.
For me, I've never we talked about it on the pod already. I don't have Christmas trees. We never done Easter egg hunts, but that's my standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the standard that I put on anybody else. And I could understand the redeemable qualities that people might find in that. I don't see like the Easter, like for churches to have like Easter egg hunts and whatnot. Like, I don't see that like as something that's sacrificed to idols, because at the end of the day, they're doing it like to kind of bring in the community and glorify God. So, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna fight somebody over that, but me personally, I don't do that.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah, but it's a good way for outreach. I know a lot of places do that. They didn't do that at Johnny Mac's church. But I've been to other churches that have done it,
Yeah.
What do you think, Jay?
So I mean, now with the kids, I have 2 babies.
Right.
My wife got like a basket or whatever, and she had the eggs, and it was just like, treats that they already eat anyway. It's not.
And they're like what, 1 and 2?
Yeah, 1 and 2. So they don't, they're still young, to understand, what's going on with the, resurrection, all that stuff.
Yeah, they just obviously.
Yeah, they just see candy and see a bunch of eggs. Oh, okay. Yeah. What's today about? Now if your kid is already, 13, 14, and you haven't explained, I guess, the resurrection, all of that, then I would say, all right, maybe we got a little bit of an issue there. But I don't really have a problem with Easter egg hunts or whatever. My wife's uncle, he does it at his house. He doesn't put candy or anything, he puts like money or whatever. So it's, you see the kids going crazy or whatever.
My family does that. My family. I was with my family. My family came down from Washington. Shout out to the Garcias. And they did it. They didn't. My mom did an Easter egg hunt at her house.
Okay. Yeah.
And they put money inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh snap! I was like, how much money in there? Because I might.
right. Yeah.
I need some gas money.
Yeah. But as a kid, we never did Easter egg hunts. None of that. Like I didn't know anything. I thought that was like a white thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that because Pentecoste, or is it?
I don't know. I don't know. Just never did it. Only in school, you know how you paint it or whatever. But other than that,
I wonder if that's a thing in Latin America.
Like to put money in, or the whole Easter egg thing?
The whole Easter egg thing.
I don't know.
If for those of you listening, for those of you watching, if you from Latin America and you did Easter egg hunts, comment below. I definitely want to know if that's something in Latin America. Because like some of the traditions that we do, like Halloween, they didn't do that in Latin America. That's like an American tradition.
Same with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving too. Yeah.
So
which is wild, but overall, man, it was cool to see my family. You know what I mean?
You guys ate.
I got to. Yeah, man. Yo, they hired this lady, this taco lady, man, and so she was whooping up them tacos, bro. She was like, ping, 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 ping. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Straight out the truck, or
nah, it's not a truck. She had like a what's it called? Just
oil?
Like a
aluminum.
Nah. Like a grill. She had like a whole grill, like like a flat grill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't a truck. It was like
okay.
I don't know what it's called. I'm drawing a blank, but she had her own like grill, and so she was chopping it up. She had her condiments, like that's her business. She does catering.
Nice. You had family come over to Cali, right?
Yeah. So they experienced the earthquake this morning. They only been here like 3 days.
What they say?
Where's your family from that's visiting?
They're up in Washington.
Oh, okay.
Up there by like Seattle, in a city called Tacoma.
Oh, Tacoma.
Yeah, you know Tacoma? Yeah. Okay. T-Town, stand up. 253 in the house.
Yeah, I don't know like that, but okay.
All of that. Tacoma gangsters.
Yo,
Toyota Tacoma.
Yo, Ed said Jay boils eggs and puts them around Queens.
And colors them.
Yo, make sure you put some TNC stickers inside if you're doing all that.
Yo, what's the correlation between well, I mean, I did mention this, but what about bunnies don't lay eggs?
Right.
That's true.
That just is crazy.
I think that the egg was like a gift to the idol, wasn't it? I think that's what it was.
Okay.
And that's why they're part of the tradition. They kind of got mashed up, but like I said, we don't do that over here. But to each his own, you know what I mean? It's not something that I'm gonna fight somebody over. It's not like
So how many
it's not like I'm gonna call you a fake Christian, you know what I mean? Because the letter J wasn't invented until after the the 17th century or something like that.
Yo, how was your how many family members you had come over, man?
Son,
did they fly in or they drove?
It was like 100 people at my grandma's house, bro. It was crazy. I was like, I'll be on some like, this is the COVID, this is a scamdemic and all that, and I'm not taking the vaccine, bro. But I was in that house with my mask on the whole time. Yeah. Some of them drove in, some of them flew in. Most of them drove down here because they got big families. I think everybody got between like 3 and 5 kids, and it was like 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 families that came down. So you could just imagine there was mad people, more. That's people.
Cool though.
No mask.
I was wearing a mask. Everybody, everybody, yeah, right.
Wait,
everybody was like. Everybody was like,
no. We're not gonna let that slide. Hold on. Jimmy, Mr. 99.9 survival rate.
Yes.
You was wearing a mask.
I was wearing a mask because my wife asked me to wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? My wife has been working in the ICU, and so she's been seeing a lot of these patients, a lot of these people who've had complications with COVID.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were smokers, and I am a former smoker. Like from the age of like 13 to 21, like I smoked Newports, I smoked BDs, I smoked blunts, you know what I'm saying? So like just thinking back on like how much I used to smoke, I'm like, dude, like, you know, and now that I'm older, right? I'm like, you know, well, let me go ahead and, you know, and take precaution, right? Because these folks ain't taking no type of precaution. And the last thing I want, you know what I mean, is to be up there and paying the price for something that I did 20 years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, you know, let me go ahead and wear a mask since, you know what I mean? But it's still 99%, you know what I mean, survival rate. You know what I mean? 80% of the people who do die have complications are over the age of 55. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. You know, I still know the numbers, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna play it safe. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not getting vaccinated. I'm gonna play it safe though. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
But but everybody was vaccinated. Everybody's like, yeah, I'm vaccinated. It's cool. Don't trip. I'm like, bro. I'm like, bro, you realize? Yeah. I'm like, bro, do you realize that like Fauci said that you can still, there's still other variants out there and they don't know if you're protected or not. You do know that that you can still catch and spread, you know, C19. We're not gonna say it.
We already did.
I know we did. I totally messed it up. Now the algorithm's gonna totally shut this episode down. Wow. But you know what I mean? Like we still know all those things, you know. So I'm not getting the vax. I'm good.
But you still got a 99.9%
survival. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yo,
after taking the vaccine.
Yeah. Right. Yo, but a lot of people are just taking. I heard at least 2 people say that they're taking it because they want to travel. Y'all heard that, right? Like that they're saying that you're gonna have to be vaccinated to travel.
I know someone that died
with the idea.
I know someone that died after taking the vaccine.
Whoa.
You know what's the interesting thing about that, man?
I don't know them. I don't know them per se. I'm sorry.
Oh,
but
okay.
They're a friend of my wife's family member, and they said he was healthy, he was fine.
Yeah.
Took the vax, died a couple days later.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, you know what the crazy thing though is, man, is that when it comes to people dying after they've been vaccinated, they're like, oh, well, they probably had COVID already, or they probably had other complications. But when you die of COVID, they don't say none of that, right? They just like, you died of COVID, right? They don't say that you needed a heart transplant or a liver transplant or none of that, or you was obese or diabetic, you had heart murmurs, none of that. They like, no, he died of COVID. You know what I'm saying? They don't even, you die of a car accident, motorcycle accident, and they won't even mention that. They'll be like, nah, he died of COVID. Yeah. You know? So it's funny that there's a different standard for the vaccine, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But, I got 2 family members that are gonna get it this week. First dose.
You got 2
that close
that already got it, right?
Yeah, so I got 2 family members that already got it. One got the first dose, 2 weeks later tested positive for corona. And then, but this is the crazy part. The daughter got the vaccine as well, and then 2 days later of her dad catching corona, she gets corona. But the wife, who obviously they're in the same room, they're in the same everything, she has till this date tested negative for COVID. No symptoms, no nothing, and they're already fully vaccinated, both of them.
That's wild. That's wild.
It's pretty crazy.
You know, another thing that's concerning too is that, like, in some places when you get vaccinated, you really don't know what you test positive for, right? Because it could be the common cold. You know, and that's just wild to me. DJ Lost and Found said we gonna have to get vaccines for each variant. Right now there aren't any vaccinations for each variant.
All they're saying is that let's just say Pfizer, they're like, oh well, ours works with the new, South American
because
variant or something like that.
because they don't know at this point. At this point, they don't know because they didn't test it like that, and that's the problem for me too, man. Is that one of the hesitations for me, man? This episode is not gonna it's not gonna get any.
Yo, make sure you hit the thumbs up, please, to help this episode out. If you haven't already, please do so. Yeah.
That's one of the concerns for me, is that there just hasn't been enough testing, and being that like the U.S. government has a history of running tests on people of color, you know what I mean? Like medical experiments, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the one that the government is running a medical experiment on.
See, you say that. You say that though, but it's like you have the majority of the country who's getting all these vaccines or whatever. When it came to what's that
but I'm saying that because I've been seeing a lot of ads like on YouTube. I just saw an ad like some black dude is on the screen. He's like, oh, I haven't got vaccinated yet. And then this black girl comes on and she's like, oh, I got the vaccination and everything is fine, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, they really, see, like my man Ant said over here, Anthony Schaefer said, Tuskegee. Yep, exactly. You know what I mean? There's also the Guatemala syphilis experiments. And shout out to your dog. The Guatemala syphilis experiments, and then also the Puerto Rican the birth control trials in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Like those are three of the main ones that stick out to me. Yeah. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm not saying that it's like a race thing, right? That they're targeting blacks or Latinos. I'm saying that the country has a history of that. Right. So if they have a history of that, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, New York already announced today that anybody 16 or over can get it.
That's crazy because they haven't even done any tests with teenagers and kids.
I think there was somebody that came out with a test that said that it works just fine.
Well, it was probably was it Johnson and Johnson?
But I don't remember.
Because Johnson and Johnson is like an older type of procedure or whatever it's called. The way that they did the test.
Oh, it's not like mRNA.
Yeah. It's different.
Oh,
It's like the old school way.
But Jay, back to what you were saying about you said your family,
my bad.
Your family members got sick.
Yeah.
Was it because are they taking 2 shots? Because I heard you have to have both shots in order to.
So I mean,
for Pfizer and Moderna, you have to take 2. Yeah.
Right. So Pfizer, Moderna, you need 2. Johnson & Johnson is the only one that you only need 1 dose of it. So they did get the Pfizer ones. So the family member, he got the first dose, and then like a week and a half later was when he tested positive for corona. Yeah. And I was on TikTok today, and there was a doctor. I mean, I don't know if he's a doctor or not, but his addy was a doctor or something, and he was explaining how if you test positive for it, that doesn't mean it's because of the vaccine, because in the vaccine, the coronavirus is not alive or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not the reason why you tested corona. It's because you were actually exposed to it. And then
between
obviously
that time.
Yeah, or even after, because that's a misconception, and I think we talked about this where people thought or think that because they get the vaccine that you're not going to get corona anymore. So, I don't know what the
but that's kind of what they pushing with the whole vaccine passport, or you go to certain events, no mask. If you're within, if there's 3 or 4 people, you guys don't need to wear masks because you have the vaccination.
Right.
So it's not really an impression. That's what they've been kind of insinuating. Well, insinuating.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, you don't need a mask if you got the vaccination. If
right.
You guys got a group of people that got vaxxed.
Right. So that's what I don't understand. Okay, you got the vaccine. So now does that technically destroy the coronavirus itself, or are we like... Well, is it more like a suppression? Like, okay, it's not going to be as bad as if there was no vaccine.
Well, they said it's like effective for like 6 months or something like that.
Right.
So
you're gonna have to get a booster shot.
Crazy.
I don't know, and this is the problem. We have all these.
So that means you won't have to get 4. You're gonna have to get 4 shots every year if you want to travel.
2. Oh well, yeah. If you get all,
right?
I guess they'll probably have a booster shot though. Because that's what they're doing for the variants too. They're kind of come up with those booster shots. But that's the question. We have all these questions for this joint that we don't got answers for.
If you know a doctor, a Christian doctor that can explain this to us, or even an RN, anybody, please tag them on Instagram or let us know in the comments so that way we can reach out to them. We could get them on the show because I got questions.
Mm-hmm. Right. You know? That's good. Yeah, this is just wild. Too many questions, man. Not enough answers. You know what I mean? I'm good, bro. I don't have plans to go into Tahiti. I know Jay does. Not me. My bag ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna do it. I don't need to travel. I don't need the travel ID, travel vaccine, whatever it is. I don't need that right now. I'm good, bro. I'm trying to stack my bread.
Listen, I'm trying to hold out, but if they do say that it's mandatory, you got to get vaccinated.
He's getting it.
Sign me up. Where we gotta go? Put it right
here. You guys gotta remember this guy takes like 4 or 5 vacations a year. He's traveling all over the.
When this man says,
we call him, yo, where you at?
He'll pull up on you. Yeah.
We like, yo, where you at? Oh yeah, I just went to
He's like, I'm in
DR.
I
went to Cali for today. You know? Like what?
For the weekend, just for the weekend, real quick, just something light.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the deal is. I know, for example, Qantas Airlines and Emirates, they're requiring you to have the vaccine if you're going to travel out to Europe or East Asia. Nothing within America yet, I guess. So we'll see. Because you know how it is. One announces it, then they all kind of like fall in line. Okay, yeah, we're going to do it too.
Yeah.
So the international travel is definitely going to be something that some of these airlines are going to.
If some of these countries will allow you to come into their country,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They might be like, nah, dog, we ain't letting no Americans over here, bro. Y'all grimy. Y'all got the highest numbers of cases.
Canada's back on again in lockdowns. They were protesting there the other day.
What?
Yeah, they were protesting Montreal.
Really?
And me and my wife were just talking about. We like, yo, we should go to Montreal because it's only like a 5-hour drive from us.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. Go to Toronto,
but they're starting lockdowns. I mean, I didn't really research, but I saw a video of them protesting because they want to do lockdowns and masks.
Yeah, see, like a 5-hour drive is cool, but like hopping on a plane for 5 hours, 8 hours, spending $2,000 to $5,000 to go to another country and you got to get vaccinated.
Whoa.
I'd rather put that on an airline or something or some Tesla stock or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to do all that.
Oh gosh.
So domestically, right? If going from state to state, they're not going to require the vaccine, right? The vaccine passport. Is that what they're saying?
As far as we know, look, it's already April 1st, and New York said you don't got to quarantine when you get here. You ain't got to do nothing. We're free now. Yeah, we're free. So,
well, but then Cuomo just said that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was gonna go somewhere else with it because I thought Cuomo said that they weren't gonna allow anybody from Florida to come into New York a while back. So now they're changing the tune, like anybody can come.
Yeah, I mean, because before you can go and you can travel, whatever, but when you came here, you had to quarantine, especially if you were in one of the states where it was high, Florida, Georgia, Utah, like all these places. But now it's like, yo, okay, you coming from Utah? That's cool. You don't need a quarantine anymore.
What were you gonna say, Switch?
No, I thought New York was the ones that were requiring
passports,
the vaccine passports for airports.
Yeah, right. So they came out with that app, but it's not required.
Okay.
And it's more for like if you're gonna go to Madison Square Garden or anything like that. The consensus is that people are gonna get used to it. That you got the vaccine and you're gonna show the little app thing that you're good.
Yeah.
Or that you got a negative test,
right?
A negative COVID test, but it's not mandatory as of yet. So
okay, because I know Fauci had just said that federally they're not going to mandate the vaccine passports.
Bro, Fauci 1 week says we're going to get a fourth wave, and this is all going to go to hell, and then And then the next week he's like, "Yo, no mask by May." Like,
yeah, that's facts though.
it's
He's
lit.
like, yeah, he's like, you don't need to wear a mask. No, you should wear a mask. No, you should wear 2 masks.
mask,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh, 2 masks. Oh my gosh.
You know, like he's always changing. Yo, shout out to Mario Esco. I see you in the chat. You know what I mean? Shout
Yeah.
out to God's Music Radio. See you in the
Yes.
chat. You know what I mean?
Make sure y'all check
Yo.
them out. They have a collective of podcasts on there, and we're one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
We're
look
on
at that. God's
Wednesday.
Music Radio. Yeah, he says his wife is an RN, so I
Hey,
have
that's
to get
what's
her
up.
on. Yeah.
Yo, DJ LNF said Creflo got a jet we can borrow. Let's go.
Oh, word?
That's what we're talking about.
Yo, you got the connections? I'm down.
Let's
I'm
go.
always
right,
down.
right in Atlanta, right? So you pull up on Ant first, pick him up, then slide through over here. You know what I mean?
You already, yeah, facts.
Anthony said, "Bro, wait. If we comply with this and get jabbed for our freedoms, what else are we going to do for our freedom? The Bible might speak about." That's a good point, but I mean, aren't we already giving up our freedom when we like? I went to the restaurant the other day and they checked my temperature. So what happens if my temperature
with the
was
gun?
high?
They did with the gun?
Yeah. What if my temperature was high? Like, could I eat at that place? Or is
That's
that
a good question?
You know what I'm saying? Is that a form of our freedom being taken away already? Like, has that already been happening? And we already complying in a way because if they say, "Yo, you can't eat here because you have high temperature,"
I don't know if that's stripping you of your freedoms, like going to a restaurant. Because if it's my restaurant, I feel like you got to follow my rules. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's the case. I think though it's a good conversation to have because what should Christians be doing? Like I know mad Christians who take the flu vaccine, right? And the flu vaccine has aborted fetuses, right? Well, I mean they were grown in the lab, but it still originated from an aborted fetus. No Christians have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good combo to have as far as like what type of freedoms are we compromising in our faith when when it comes to something like this?
that's not the same. Yeah, I mean, to me, it is the same because you're basically they're saying you can't go to these events or you can't do this without this vaccine passport.
Well, the fact that you can't travel is kind of concerning. Yeah.
Like, that's
already. Yeah, you can't grab a plane. Let's just say they mandatory, but people could drive, right? People could walk. Yeah, so
I just saw a baby kicked out of a flight because she wasn't wearing a mask. She was like 2 years old, man. I was like, come on, man, not the baby.
Yeah. Thank God we haven't experienced that in all our flights that we've taken. But yeah,
that's horrible. I'm pulling all my money.
Yeah. I mean, but we'll see, man. I hope it's not mandatory because obviously I want to keep flying.
Yeah, but, of course you do. You're gonna have to buy a jet. That's it, man. You're gonna have to was it Jet Suite X? That's what you're gonna have to do.
You gonna have Jay-Z's company?
Yeah, Jay-Z's company. Yeah. Hey, we gonna have to TNC. TNC gonna have to get one of them yearly packages.
Yeah, listen. If Clefo doesn't come through, then we gotta hit up Jay. See what's good.
We gotta hit up Jay. Like, what's up, Jay?
Yeah.
Look at Ant in the comments, man. That dude just need to go ahead and
just get on the
open
pod,
his crack open your laptop, bro. Over here, have conversations.
Your restaurant analogy sucked though. I'm just saying, like, we already taking tests. Isn't that imposing on our freedom? Like, but nobody complains about that. They be like, "Oh, I got to take a test to make sure I don't have COVID." Is it really freedom, or is it just these people are taking precautions? I mean, I don't know. Where do we draw the line with that?
Yeah. I could see both sides. I can see both sides. Because like I think the restaurant is only doing it because that's what the culture is demanding right now, right? Because number one, they don't want the city to shut them down, right? Or a Karen, right, calling the health board because you weren't checking people's temperatures or you weren't following mask mandates or whatever else. So I think from a business standpoint, people are just doing it because that's what the government mandates. You know what I mean? The reality, I think that most people are only wearing masks and social distancing and doing all this stuff because the government is mandating it. If tomorrow they said, like, you know what, we're not doing any of that, I'm pretty confident nobody would care.
i.e. Texas, Miami,
Florida, yeah,
some parts of Georgia.
Some parts.
Aren't they numbers the same as New York though?
Yeah, they're
Miami?
the same. Actually, I think Cali has the highest numbers out of all the states, and
Oh
we
my
still on
gosh!
lockdown.
And you're still on lockdown. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean,
I'm
no,
so
they
sorry.
just opened up last week. I think like you could do dine-in eating because my son went to go get some. He went to go get some chicken the other day, and he's like, "Yo, you could eat in a restaurant now." I was like, "Did you eat inside?" He's like, "Nah, I went outside."
Wait, so you guys are not doing any dining eating?
We
right now?
weren't for a long time. Like
Oh,
a
wow.
year, and just recently they opened it back up where you can dine in inside, but I think it's like 30% capacity or something like that.
Oh, I stay eating out. Up here. How about in the
Yeah.
city, Jay? Is it like that too?
So it's just raised last week to 50% capacity in the
okay.
restaurants. Yeah. And then outdoor, obviously, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So, but I've eaten inside. I have no issues with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all need to just listen to Bill Gates, man. We're not gonna
No,
be
we
back
don't.
to normal until
man.
2022.
Come on, bro. This man. Yo, mute his
Yo,
mic,
wait.
man.
Bill Gates told y'all about this virus, right? Bill Gates is supposed to be the one who started the virus.
He made it. He developed it.
He knows what's gonna happen. He said 2022
He
life
got
will
the
be back to
cheat code.
normal.
He predicted it. Right. Look, he Nostradamus.
Oh, snap. And said all GA restrictions lifted this week for spring
Let's
break.
go.
Wow.
Let's go.
Let me see how much the flight is right now. Live.
We pulling up. Okay.
So what
Yes,
what are some other concerns with like the vaccine passport? Because there are individuals that could be allergic, right, to this vaccine. Supposedly,
Yeah,
if you
we
have
don't
like
know.
allergic reactions, so are they
what
gonna?
kind of allergies? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
You don't know?
Nah,
Like they
but
just
I know.
don't. They just don't know at this point because
No,
they
they-
haven't really tested it.
No, I mean they mentioned that if you've ever had an allergic reaction to any vaccine, that you shouldn't get it.
That's me.
now. Yeah.
Right. If you're pregnant, right, you can't get it
I'm
as
pregnant.
well.
No, they got billboards in Jersey saying get the
pregnant
vaccine.
too. I can't
if
get
you're
the
pregnant, get it.
Oh
'Cause they
yeah.
get
It helps the
pregnant.
baby. Yeah, I saw one the other
okay.
day.
That's
Okay.
wild. I can't believe they're saying that. Hey, yo, what's up with that hat you wearing, bro? Where you cop that?
Yeah, you already know. You know what I mean? That's not Christian podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yo, I'm a little jealous right now, bro.
Dude, don't be jealous, man.
That's a stumbling block for me right now.
Don't get bitter,
son.
brother. Get better. Don't get bitter. Get better.
I'm working on
Just switch
changing
the
them
letters.
I'm working on changing them letters.
Nah, yeah, we got some new merch. Wait, is this up yet? Like,
Nah. Not yet.
Not up yet.
okay, so I got exclusive
we
access. You heard?
You got exclusive. We trying to launch for episode 100. This is what, episode 98? Is that right?
98?
Let me see.
That's right, 98.
So we got
My man who
99.
did the thumbnail. Was he accurate this time?
I was accurate last time, by the way.
No, you wasn't.
Yes,
He
I
He
was.
said 95,
You
son.
put 95.
No. On the thumbnail image, I have row 95, but on the actual episode
So you
title,
wasn't accurate.
it was the actual. Man, shut
No,
up.
I changed the title. I went in there and changed it while we was
Oh,
talking.
you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you wasn't accurate.
All right. My
You see
apologies.
the pride of man. You
Hey,
see the
all
pride
right.
of man that he
Switch,
can't
switch.
accept.
Back to the subject. Back to the subject. Back to the subject.
Listen. I got something to tell you. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry.
Gloria a Dios, hallelujah.
Come on,
Yo,
man. We not trying to end up like Joe Budden.
yo,
over
for
here,
y'all that
man.
don't know over there, man, I'm pulling up on your man Jay this weekend, son. Y'all can find me with Jay.
Okay. Oh, puro party.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going on?
But
Jumpy and all that.
yeah, so episode 100.
100, which
We
is
got
208, which
99.
would be what, Monday? Monday, because
Monday.
this Wednesday, my man too. Again, he said we were gonna have Nick D last week. We didn't even have.
That's your fault.
Oh, that was my
That's
fault.
your
That was
fault.
my fault. Yo, I heard somebody was like, "Yo, I was waiting for I was waiting for Nick D on Wednesday." My fault. I thought the schedules just be like Wednesdays. We use Monday, Wednesday, but it's actually this Wednesday. Nick D is
This
gonna be hopping
Wednesday
on
is gonna be episode 99. So next Monday, hopefully, we're gonna
It's a
have
party.
Our new site live. And celebrate with us. You know what I mean? By
And I got some more merch coming in, so I'm hyped.
Okay.
I'm hyped, and they
Wow.
got this in camo.
Why don't
They
you
got
praise
some
your
camera.
Why don't you praise your president?
Who, Biden?
This dude.
Yeah.
Love Biden, man. Nah, let me stop.
Yo, he said I love him. But I see them in the news recently. Well, not in the news and Instagram. I saw a lot of the MAGAs posting a picture of his wife. Did y'all see that?
Nah.
She said something in Spanish.
Oh no, yeah, that too. But she was wearing fishnet stockings, and they're like that. She like 80 years old, and she out here dressing like like a harlot and all that.
She's Stella. She's trying to get her groove on, man.
Yo,
she's Stella. She got a groove on, man.
Oh man, yo,
everything. I mean, but that was the same way with Trump, though. Like everything Trump did, or his wife, his family was criticized.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna go.
Fair game. So it's fair game. They're getting even.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
Remember when he was walking up the steps and he fell, and they were like, "Oh, look at him."
Yeah. Remember when the liberals were like, they kept playing the video of when Trump tried to hold his wife's hand at the inauguration, and she like shoot him away. She's like,
petty.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's wild, man. So anyway, cop your merch. Shop.that'snotchristian.com for now. The new merch will be up on Monday, God willing, right? We're trying to launch a Patreon too. Hopefully by Monday we can get it all together. We really don't know. Honestly, it's not up because we really didn't know what type of benefits to give you guys. But a lot of you have been reaching out to us like, yo, I don't care. I just want to support, so we're gonna try to get. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. So we're gonna try to get something up, just because I know some of y'all just don't want to buy a hat or a hoodie or whatever. You just want to support, and we definitely appreciate that. We appreciate the love. Yeah. So we're gonna try to get that up by Monday too. So you're gonna have all that.
We're gonna have the vaccine passports.
Yeah,
it's not Christian on them.
Mm-hmm. By doctor, that's not Christian.
Man.
So man.
Anthony Shaffer says, "What's going on with Buddens? Switch. That's your favorite podcast, so you can."
I love the Joe Budden podcast when I get to catch it.
I was late. I was late to the party.
Yeah, I like them. I like what's the other guy? Oh, Flagrant 2 with what's his name? The dude that's with Brilliant Idiots. That's with I forgot.
Oh, you're talking about the Jewish kid, not Charlemagne, right?
Not Charlemagne. Yeah, he got a joint called Flagrant 2, which is pretty cool.
He got is that the same thing he does on YouTube?
Yeah, the Flagrant 2 is like his own separate thing from Brilliant Idiots.
Okay, because I know he does YouTube videos too, right? Like he does like hot topics and stuff like that. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think that's what you're talking about.
Okay,
I've caught a couple of their episodes. But yeah, with Buddens, so his co-hosts Rory and Mal, Rory's been pressing Joe about running that fade.
Yeah, he was. Like, the last episode he was on, he said you'd punch him in the face.
Yeah,
let's go outside. We can go to the gym right now. I guess he's been boxing or so he feeling himself.
Yeah.
And so what happened? He had a conversation with Joe. And Joe was like, I think you should stay home. Kind of like the same conversation Switch had with Ant, right? You told me to stay home.
Have a seat, man. Say go. Not me, you. You're Joe Buttons. I'm Parks.
No, I'm Parks. I'm trying to be Parks. I've been trying to be behind the scenes the whole time.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz. That's his name. Thanks, brother.
So Budden told him to, yo, go ahead and take a vacation, cool off, and then he told Maul, right?
He told Maul about it. Maul wasn't with it.
Yeah, he was like, wait, why you make the decision by yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he kind of felt a certain way about it, and I like the change, man.
Oh yeah, they got it. Well, they had a few different changes, but now they have Ish and Ice.
Yeah,
and they're there, I guess, temporarily to hold their spots. But
I like them. I think I'm cool with if Maul and Rory don't come back.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm gonna miss is Maul's drip, but we got Ant for that. Ant got that drip on lock, so
he got that drip. That's real.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Hey, shout out
you,
to Jesse.
You know what's interesting about Joe Budden's, man? He always has issues with. It always seems like he has issues when it comes to individuals or higher ups and stuff like that.
So that's why you calling me Joe Budden?
Nah.
I have issues. You saying I have relationship issues?
Nah, I just didn't want to be called Joe Butters because I'm definitely not that passive aggressive behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can either take Joe Buttons as a visionary, or you can take him as someone who is just like passive aggressive or just controlling or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Obviously, with the relationships that Joe has had, and not to bash the dude, but there've been a lot of severed things from females to working on networks and stuff like that. So
yeah.
He's one of them individuals that you have to kind of learn how to deal with, or maybe not even that. Maybe he has to change his character or his demeanor, where he handles things. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing good. He's successful right now.
Yeah, he's getting to the bag.
Yeah,
he's getting to the bag for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. So they doing their thing. What else we got, man? What else we got? What's going on in NYC? So y'all got restaurants are open 50%, and y'all got, which is perfect timing because Zaza is legal in NYC.
Let's go.
You get a little
for y'all that don't know.
No, just kidding. It's
you're not
receipt.
Christian. Okay.
It's a receipt. Calm down. Calm down.
Definitely not Christian, bro.
Calm down.
You about to roll up on the pod.
Right on the pod, bro. We thought this was Drink Champs.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Yeah. So Zaza, aka marijuana, is legal in New York.
By the way, marijuana is a derogatory term, and you're supposed to say cannabis.
It is?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Marijuana was a term used by the government against Mexicans, right? It was used in propaganda when they were trying to get rid of Mexicans who were here in California and Texas. So they would call them lazy, and they were smoking marijuana. It would turn them into rapists. So it was in all the propaganda in the movies and print and all that. So that's why they use the word cannabis.
Wow, didn't know that.
No.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
Good
so
stuff.
Yeah, it's legal.
It's legal. You could have up to 3 ounces?
That's right, 3 ounces.
And you can smoke anywhere you want, just like a cigarette.
Whoa, not really.
You can smoke in public, right?
I mean, public, yeah, but there's certain places that you still can.
Wherever there's no smoking, right?
Yeah, wherever there's no smoking, and you can't smoke in a park or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah,
but you can't smoke cigarettes in a park technically now.
Oh no,
like in where they got, because most of these parks are next to the schools.
So you can't light up a Black and Mild or nothing like that in the park.
Dudes do it.
Sure, it's New York. It's New York. You're not supposed to jaywalk, but New York
drink
jaywalk.
And do all this. Oh, you know what I mean? They don't. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for them to really be after you about that. But yeah, I mean, basically, you could just walk around and smoke.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So we got some information here. So if you're in New York and this pertains to you, what you need to know about legal marijuana in New York. So the first one is, can I smoke weed on the street? And the answer is adults 21 or older can smoke or consume marijuana anywhere it is currently legal to use tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Then is how much marijuana am I allowed to have, which we discussed. You can have up to 3 ounces either at home or in public.
Okay.
Yeah. And supposedly in a few months, the Office of Cannabis Management will set a permanent regulation for the cannabis economy. And supposedly they're going to allow 5 pounds of pot at home. But we're not there yet. Next question is, can I smoke a joint in the park? Smoking tobacco is prohibited in the city parks, and so is smoking marijuana. However, the penalty is no longer a criminal offense. It's a civil infraction like littering. You can face $25 fine and up to 20 hours of community service if you're found guilty.
Okay,
So, that's good.
So they're also expunging the law, anyone
I
who's
saw that.
been arrested for cannabis.
Good.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, man. That's good, man. That's good because I think it affects a lot of people of color.
Exactly. Yeah. If I'm under 21 and the cops catch me smoking weed, what will happen? Minors in possession of marijuana face a civil penalty of $50 and a drug education. There is
Man, you under
criminal
21
consequence.
and you crack open the Dutch, you know what I mean, and you see the ops, you better run. That's it.
I mean,
you better act like like this joint didn't pass. You know what I'm saying? Like just run.
Yeah.
I imagine that they're doing this. Number one, I feel like this is an attempt to distract us from what's going on with Cuomo and his rape allegations. Number two,
I agree.
I mean that's just how I feel. Number two, I feel like
once
this is a revenue
hold on before
generator.
you continue. Yeah, before you continue, like all of this just out of nowhere just started happening.
Yeah,
when
like,
the
allegations
allegations
even
started popping
people
off.
were debating. Right.
Nah, it was like, oh, we got to get this passed. All right, let's work. Oh, they worked weekends.
We need to get everybody high so they forget about this whole thing. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Wow.
It's wild.
Number two is definitely a revenue generator because now
they
can charge taxes, you know what I'm saying, and make income off of that. They know that, they know that people been smoking in the ocean's grandson, you know what I mean? Like,
bruh, your number two to me is my number one. This is just a money thing, man. They say they expected to make millions and billions of dollars off of this, man.
Absolutely.
Look at Colorado.
New York is in debt badly. They are gonna make money, and it's already projected. They're already projecting the numbers online. I read some articles. I think it's like 300 and something million a year or something like that.
Wow.
And of course, it'll probably grow more and more. Bro, this is a money thing, man. This is all it is. That's in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Yes, maybe it is some kind of equity and freedom and something else that's involved in all of that, and the times that we in and the kind of culture we in.
No,
but it got a price tag with it, man. That money, that dollar bill. New York is in debt bad right now.
Right.
Weed is gonna bail them out. Period.
No, it's gonna fatten pockets. They ain't gonna bail nobody out because they still got a budgeting problem, like every other state. Just like our federal government, they got a budgeting problem. You know what I'm saying? Like this just means, more money. Let's spend more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing with that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's always been my thing. Like with this world, I know people say money, power, respect, but the word says the word says you either serve God or mamma, right? Or manna, right? So it's like you serve God or money, and a lot of these things, man, are done with a price tag with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We live in a capitalist society, and they all about that dollar bill. That's how come I kind of push back when it comes to that whole, with conspiracy theorists. I'm not saying it's not possible, but like, martial law and stuff like that. It may be possible, but I think that they are more concerned about the dollar bill. How can we make money, more and more money? How can we fatten ourselves and get more greedy? And that's just what it seems like this situation is like. You know what I mean? It's not about freeing people from jail. It's not about none of that, man.
No. I agree 100%.
But they did kill two birds with one stone. Now they look like the good guys. Everybody's all happy. People are like, yeah, it's 420. We're gonna be smoking and da. And people are getting out of jail.
I forgot about that. That's coming up.
Yo, Switch, where you gonna be at?
We're gonna be right.
Last, what was it? Before COVID hit, I was supposed to perform at a 420 event.
Oh, word?
Well, it wasn't a 420 event, but it was a festival to open up for Fat Joe and Fabio. But then COVID hit and I wasn't able to do it. But yeah, it was on 420 too.
Okay, so you're gonna be chilling with Fat Joe and them.
Not this year because they never rescheduled it. So
I mean, you can't do anything yet in New York, but
on Big Pump Plaza, huh?
Yeah.
Another question that was a big debate, I guess, is can the NYPD? You know how cops can pull you over if they smell weed as what's the term? As a probable cause.
Yeah.
And the website says no, the MRTA does not allow the police to use the odor of marijuana, whether it's burned or not, for a reason for a stop and search. This again was the goal of the MRTA sponsors, who pointed to the explosion of marijuana arrests during the stop and frisk era.
Okay.
So yeah, I know they sent out emails and like bulletin board stuff to all the precincts to make sure that everybody knows that, okay, hey, weed is legal now. Like, don't be going crazy.
So what if you high though? Like, I know with alcohol you have a breathalyzer test. Like, is there a
They got one too.
They have a device for that?
For weed. Yeah.
Okay. So then what if they,
I don't know how it works, but
what if they stop you and or you look high, right? Per se, right? But you have 3 ounces on you, right? You might be high. Like, can they stop you? Because I heard that you can get a summons, right, for being high, right? Or being
so that was another question, and the answer to that is the police can use the smell of marijuana to determine if someone is driving while intoxicated. That law already exists, and New York is already prosecuted for driving under the influence of weed.
Yeah.
Unlike alcohol, there's a legal limit of 0.08. There is no limit with marijuana, so any level of use while operating a motor vehicle is a criminal misdemeanor.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm cool with that.
If you ride in a car with marijuana, you should treat it like an open container of alcohol and store it in the trunk.
Oh, so driving is a no. Driving,
still the same thing. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So no hot boxing in the whip.
I don't know what that is, but no.
Hot boxing is when y'all go y'all pass each other.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You roll.
Wait, you never smoked? You never smoked before, huh?
Only secondhand.
Wow.
That's good, man. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
Dope.
For real. Dope. What about companies now, right? Like job interviews,
like
drug tests, right? Is this something that they're going to start being
more
lenient with?
They still drug tests here in Cali. They still drug tests here.
But if you come out, I don't know, positive for weed use, like, do you get the job? Do you not get the job?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if they still test for cannabis use, but I don't know that even I've seen what's it called, cannabis shops, right? They don't want you high on the job, right? And they know that some people, a lot of people take it because they're patients, you know what I'm saying? Because they're taking it for medicinal reasons. I thought that was pretty interesting, but I don't know that it would prevent you from getting a job. I think it really depends on the employer.
All right. We're going to start implementing here at TNC Corporation.
Random drug tests. Yeah.
Canna Righteous says, no, NY has job protections. They made that part of their law. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's what's up.
That's what's up. So soon the athletes gonna be able to start
Zaza
as it starts to become more lenient, right?
I guess so.
Oh yeah, I think with the UFC, the UFC is allowing cannabis use now, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw something where, because Nate Diaz was like,
wasn't somebody sponsored?
No, I don't know.
No, I thought I read something about
Nate Diaz. I think him and his brother have something going on. But
like a weed thing,
like their own dispensary or their own strain. I'm not quite sure.
Gotcha.
But that's pretty dope, man. Because a lot of these dudes use it instead of like popping a Vicodin or a Percocet or something like that. They just smoke a blunt, whatever, and it helps them with their pain or whatever it is that they're dealing with, man. So I think that's cool that some of these athletes are able to do that, you know what I mean, with something that's far less addictive than an opiate,
Yeah. And says NBA stopped testing for weed.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Right. Yeah. Looks like the MLB stopped too.
Oh, okay. Well, so everybody.
Yeah.
I actually looked into what New York says about opening dispensaries here.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, there's a lot of people that have been working at this for a long time, and they're like ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
So
it's
like Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't get approved or anything
No,
like that for a
you
while.
have to. Yeah, that's how it is in Cali too. Like you kind of have to have a network of people, and there's like
Mm-hmm.
generations of farmers who have been in the industry for a long time.
Yep.
And these generation of farmers license a lot of their stuff to like big pharma companies and stuff like that. And they don't just give it to anybody. Like, you know, you kind of have to know someone. I think there's a limit here in Cali with how many people can get dispensaries.
So can you
So I
sell?
imagine that's the same. Huh?
Can you sell legally in New York? Like a dude that's on the block just selling.
You're looking for a part-time job? Is that what's going on?
It says it's
It's not Christian.
it's a violation to sell any amount of marijuana unlawfully. But the harsh penalties for selling lower amounts have been removed.
But I think there was like a caveat to sale.
For so many years, you know how many years they put people in jail for years for selling?
Yeah.
So
that's why. Well, good for New York, man. Good for New York and taking that step. You know what I mean? Because it affects us. You know, a lot of us, a lot of people in our in our communities and whatnot. You know, so we keep following the story, man. In other New York news,
but now they're gonna have issues with the farmers now, because now they're gonna have. I mean, they already have farmers and laws. There's always the government's always having their hand, and they're always putting in these things that make it real hard for farmers, like farmers just in general, like
to grow it and stuff like that. You're saying?
Yeah, growing what they grow and things like that. They have all these laws, and they make it real difficult for them, man.
I mean, isn't there only one type of weed? I mean, I don't know. You know?
No,
I'm just saying that now that people that are going to start growing them, they're going to have. I'm sure they're going to have these strict laws and
sure, they're probably going to have to pay for licenses and taxes and all kinds of stuff like that. You know, they're going. It's a money maker, man.
For sure.
You know, for a long time, you know, the people in the black market made hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and now it's now the state wants a piece of that, you know, because they gangster, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say, man, switching topics, man, just you know, still staying on NY. You guys heard about DMX? What happened to DMX?
Oh man, yeah. He overdosed.
Unfortunate.
Supposedly he was brain dead.
Yeah, that's the story, and I've been hearing conflicting stories. So I heard that the first story I heard was that he OD'd, right? And then the second story, like after a couple, I think it was like the next day, they were like, no, there was no. They kind of denied the rumors of him ODing, right? That it was just a heart attack. But whatever the case is, they said he's on life support. There were some stories that he was taken off life support and he was, you know, he was breathing on his own. But it seems like those stories have been retracted as well.
Yeah. So when it first came out, they were saying that he was on life support. That was going on for a couple hours, and then they came out with a report because the lawyer had mentioned he's not on life support. He's breathing, but it still doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? We still have some hope, but he's still not, you know, progressing like he should.
Right.
And then they recanted that story. Like most media was saying, hey,
a lot of people ran with that. Yeah.
And that's because of the lawyer had given that information. That was DMX's lawyer. And then they recanted that and said, no, he was still on life support. My wife just told me that he was like 30 minutes when they first got there without oxygen.
Wow.
Which is pretty bad. So
yeah.
And it's just very difficult to progress and recover from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know you had mentioned you're kind of you listening to like DMX when you were younger and his influence.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So 22 years ago, for Easter Sunday, I was sitting in jail. I was a DMX fan like before that. My wife actually gave me the CD because she heard it and she was like, yo, this dude's demonic. I don't want to listen to this dude. He's talking about raping girls and whatnot and killing people, whatever, you know. I kind of skipped through those songs, you know what I'm saying? I thought I thought that first album was pretty dope. I think when did it drop? In 97, 98 or something like that. But anyway, fast forward, I stopped listening to him, right? And in 22 years ago in 1999, I was sitting in jail for Easter Sunday, man. And like, so this whole time, like Easter Sunday and everything is like, it just hits different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just remember that time. Because that's the time, like, when I really turned my life to the Lord, and like, and I just surrendered. But I remember, like, when I was sitting in jail, like, we in the dorm, we had a TV and there was cable. We watched BET, we watched Rap City, and that song, right, Slipping, would come on all the time, man. And to me, like, that joint just like spoke to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that joint was like, when he's talking about like, doing something more constructive with my time than bids, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, like, I can't live like this. This ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not me. Like, like, I'm not a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not me. I need to do something for my kids. You know what I mean? So it definitely ministered to me. And even like, when I got out and we were doing ministry and stuff like that with my wife, like out on the streets, we would have conversations with people, and people would always try to convince us, like, yo, no, he's a Christian. But based on the conversation, on the music, with him saying that he sold his soul and saying that in interviews and stuff like that, like, I always viewed it like, yo, I don't know if son's a Christian talking like that. You know what I mean? I ain't never heard no Christian talk about selling their soul. No, you got a song named Damien, you know what I mean? But when you listen to a lot more of the recent stuff, right? Even just his walk in the last couple of years, it seems like he's been talking more about his faith, about Jesus, you know what I mean? Like praying up at the Breakfast Club. Even in his live, he took the time in his live, like, to offer the gospel to people, and we can debate whether or not the sinner's prayer is biblical, but in his live, he's leading people in the sinner's prayer. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was really dope, man. If he continues in that path, man, I really hope that, he pulls through. You know what I mean? I really hope that he pulls through. Because I think he's gonna be a big weapon, you know what I mean, against the enemy, and it's sad that he's been struggling with this addiction for so long, man. Like, when I was a fan, I met him one time, right? Because I was filming with a friend, and I seen him perform in concerts and stuff like that. I never would have guessed this dude was smoking crack, and he was on what's your man's name from Black Star? He was saying in his podcast that somebody tricked him into smoking crack. You know what I mean? He was smoking krills, right?
Yeah, 14, right?
Yeah, 14. Yeah, no idea, man. That's foul.
I thought it was weed and it was laced.
Yeah. So that's yo, thank you, Aunt Talib Kweli. He was on Talib Kweli's podcast where he was sharing that story, and he broke down in tears, man. And that I saw that, and that hurt, bro. Like, wow, because I could relate, man. Because I was a young kid, like I was always like the young shorty hanging out with my older brother and hanging out with his friends, you know what I mean, and older dudes who were like bad influences in my life, you know what I mean. So I could totally relate to that, So prayers up to him, for him and anybody struggling with addiction, man, because it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, and how many believers, right, or Christians are addicted to different things, pornography and things like that,
right? Right.
And it leads to a discussion like, where do we, you know what I mean, with the power that we have of Christ, right, the Holy Spirit, right, that has the power to overcome sin. It's like, where do we stop these things, right? Because you hear about people that have addictions for years, right? I'm addicted to porn, and God forbid they die with that addiction, right? It's like, where do we kind of like, where does that stop come for people who are in those addictions or have those vices? Because I've seen some other believers that have said like, yo, I never had vices when I was in the world. Like, I never had nothing I was addicted to, but when I came to, and even when I came to Christ, I still don't have those vices. But then there's some of us who were introduced to, you know what I mean, sex young,
right,
drugs, violence, anger, right? All these things, right? Because
right.
ultimately that's what the devil's ultimate goal is, right? To destroy our lives. So it's like, as a believer, shouldn't we have that power to overcome these things, right? Or battle these things, or not give in to the flesh, but give in to the spirit. So
that's tough, bro. That's a tough conversation to have. Is it thorn on your side, or is it, is it the is it just the continuous battle against sin, in our lives,
yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, man. And where does grace fall into place? You know what I'm saying? Like, when someone's struggling like that, it's tough, because you definitely don't want to justify it, right? And you want to have compassion for somebody who is struggling with that. And I believe that the power of the blood can help you, to overcome that, but it's not easy,
It's not. I mean, Paul says, he does, what I mean? This flesh is doing things that it don't want to do. You know what I mean? And that struggle. But he also says, thanks be to Christ. You know what I'm saying? And we have the same there was a old preacher, his name Leonard Ravenhill. He say we have the same spirit that resurrected Jesus Christ from the dead.
Right.
So how much more, to overcome these sins or overcome these issues? I think sometimes we just kind of give up and just, instead of resisting the devil, we just like, this is just what I'm gonna be doing. You know what I mean? This is just my thing. You know what I mean?
Right. No. You definitely resist the devil and flee. Ant said, does it stop? Urges never stop. Temptation never stops. It's what you put in place to substitute Christ. Let's go.
Christ, gang. Yeah, that's definitely true. You're always gonna have those different urges, or those, you know what I mean?
Always. And you're always
why,
going to justify it. You're always going to justify it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we justify our sin, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we do.
Yeah. That's why we gotta just stay in prayer, stay in communion with the brethren. You know what I mean? Where it says confess our sins to one another. Actually, it was a scripture like, you confess your sins, it will heal you. You know what I'm saying? So there's healing in confessing your sins, not going into shame and feeling like, I don't want to tell these people, or these people that I'm accountable to, that I slipped up again, or I did this. You need that. You need wise counsel around you.
That's true 100%, bro. That's true 100%, because like with me, even like I shared like, with lust and addiction to porn. It wasn't until I actually started talking to people, right, that I started beginning to feel like, victory, over it, and the beautiful part was that other people shared their struggle, so I didn't feel like I was alone anymore,
Man.
And I got held accountable, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't like in the dark, hiding and justifying it, and like, oh well, it was kind of like people were asking me, yo, you still doing this, you still doing that, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so there's definitely
you're still taking your phone to the bathroom.
Right.
You need to leave that joint.
Right. Leave that outside, bro. Leave that outside. Matter of fact,
one of my mans is like, yo, I'm getting a flip phone. Like, he's like, I can't have this type of phone. I'm getting a flip phone. Like, you gotta cut off your hand, right?
Yeah,
I know that's not lyrically, literally, but it's like, yo, you gotta do what it takes, man.
That's true. Absolutely.
Facts, boy.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, that's sad, man. DMX, just seeing his life, and it's crazy because recently he did like the 20-year anniversary, right, of what was it, Rough Riders. They've been having a lot of interviews with him. It's almost like people have been giving him his roses. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he did the verses, right, with Snoop.
He did the verses with Snoop.
Mm-hmm.
And for some time people were saying that he's clean of all of this. So I know that this is allegedly. I don't know what the facts are.
Yeah,
but they are saying that he did OD.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, I mean, he might have been clean and just backslid. I mean, who knows? Somebody might have given him some. That happened to what's your man's name? Well, he didn't quit, but that rapper Lil Peep, somebody gave him some drugs, and he's like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna get high." And he took the drugs, and he OD'd. He didn't know that it had fentanyl in it, and so he OD'd. Everybody in the tour bus thought that he was asleep, and the dude was dead. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It might have been one of those cases where somebody just he was cool, he was clean, and then somebody just handed him something. We don't know. I'm sure the details will come out soon. And we'll know. But man, it's sad, bro.
Yeah, y'all right. He didn't die. I'm sorry to speak that if anybody said that, but yeah, he's in a he's basically on life support right now.
Yeah.
They actually having a prayer vigil 5 p.m. in front of the hospital, because he's in White Plains Hospital. So they had a prayer vigil.
I saw the Rough Riders were out there too yesterday.
Yeah, they were blasting his music, praying, stuff like that. So
yeah.
May the Lord do his work, man. May his will be done at the end of the day, man.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
Facts.
So what else you got, man?
What's up with GA and this voting bill?
What is up with that, Ant?
Where's Ant?
Yeah, where's Ant at?
That's his bill,
right? I mean, he
co-signed it.
He co-signed it. The main thing I'm trying to understand is, so the governor, who happens to be a Republican, is now mandating that you need an ID to go and vote. Is that
so they're pushing for voter IDs, right? That if you're gonna vote, you need an ID. I'm kind of cool with that, man.
Yeah. I don't understand what
I don't vote, but I feel like, dog, if you're gonna vote, you should at least be able to prove you are who you say you are, right? I mean, when I go to the store and I swipe my credit card, I show my credit card, they ask me for my ID.
Right. Yeah.
So how is that voter suppression, or how is that?
Well, there were some other things, right?
Like what?
Handing water and food to people while they're online, something like that. Because supposedly these lines are long and they're waiting hours. And whatever, they're giving them water and food. I mean, I don't I feel the same way, like what you're saying, Jay. Like I don't understand how this is an attack on people who are going elections, what I mean? Because people are making it seem like this is like some kind of attack against it, or voter suppression, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying giving water and food during that whole time.
Yeah, I get the whole electioneering part, because this last voting moment, there was someone that was hanging out cookies and like masks and stuff, and you know what was in it? The person who was running, there was like a photo of the dude, and they're like, "Oh, vote if you want this or that." Like I get that part. And another thing I heard was that they are prohibiting people from selling water or giving water or whatever, but if you want water, that they'll have it in the actual like voting area place. So it's not like they're taking that away in a sense.
Right. So I think that the problem, the reason why they're saying that is racist, in my opinion, is just the soft bigotry of low expectations, And what I mean by that is that they're saying like, oh, well, this disenfranchises blacks and Latinos because they can't get IDs. It's like, bro, I've been having an ID since I was like 16, 17. Like, what are you talking about? Like everybody I know, like, because I'm brown, that does not mean that I cannot get an ID. Like race is not an issue when you go to the DMV to go get your driver's license or even just your ID. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want one, cool. I just
voter
ID. I don't get that part.
The voter ID is just your ID, pretty much. It's your state ID.
It's just your state ID. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's just your state ID. That's it. Your picture ID. That's it. Like they don't want anything extra from you. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing with the water and the food, it's like what you were saying, Jay. Is like they just don't want any anybody associated with the political party to be handing out water or snacks. It's like, bro, you going to vote? Like, you can't pack your own. You're a grown person. You can't pack your own snacks. You don't know that you're gonna get hungry or you're gonna get thirsty standing out. And you know what I mean? Like when you're out voting, like, come on, man. Yeah. I've grown up, you know, but it doesn't stop the people who are volunteers from handing out water. I think it was like up to 150 feet from, you know, the voting place. Mm-hmm. So it's not stopping volunteers from handing out water. It's just you can't hand out water if like you're running for someone, you know, if your name is on the ticket or you're working for like you're affiliated to somebody who's running for a position in government. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't see that as racist or disenfranchised, you know. But you know, I believe in people. I have hope in people that they can accomplish a whole lot. So you know, my standards are a bit high.
So so the law is voter ID, no more food and water on the lines, right? As far as people serving you, what else? What else is in that?
As far as that's all I know. That's all I know is that from that bill.
So that's enough to cause the MLB All-Star game to get canceled in Georgia. And then and like
isn't it going to be relocated to like an international country or something like that?
I mean, I don't know. And then now you have backlash with Delta, and supposedly they're gonna strip away now their tax stuff from them in Georgia.
Well, that's good. They should do that with every company and corporation. Go ahead and like let's not give anybody any money. You know what I'm saying? Let's not like what is that about, bro? You know what I mean? Like giving them any type of subsidies, like our tax dollars. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
you know.
So Canada, right?
But it's interesting though. It's interesting though that the right, the Republicans are trying to cancel. Like that's part of cancel culture, ain't it?
Right.
Ain't it them like saying, "Oh, we don't want MLB here." Okay, I thought y'all was about freedom.
Canada Righteous says many people in Hispanic and Black communities don't know how to use internet to find out where they can get doses. Poll: what scares you the most? Okay, I don't think that has anything to do with our topic, right?
No. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see that there is a part of the demographic who don't know how to use the internet, and I get that. There's a lot that do. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that do, right?
And you still can't Google anything.
Like there's all my tias and tios and even grandpa is on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So like, you can't figure out how to get an ID. I don't know. If you can't figure out how to get an ID, you probably shouldn't be voting.
What about people that are younger? Like
you've been watching too much Univision, so I don't know if I want you to vote anyway.
What's the age limit for GA
to vote?
What you mean?
Yeah,
isn't it everybody 18 or up?
Yeah, it should be 18 for every state.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Nah, earlier? I'm just trying to figure out like why people calling it, because they're saying that this is a racist thing and it's an attack.
But that's always the case, right? Everything is racist now. Everything.
But this just doesn't make any sense.
When they say something is racist, it don't make no sense.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Like, how come they didn't say that Muslim dude that was shooting up the people at the supermarket was? How come they didn't say he was racist? But they said the other white dude was racist when he shot up the massage parlor.
Right.
Like, what's the difference? And that dude who shot up the supermarket was a Muslim.
Yeah.
You know? And it was racist up until the point that they found out that he was a person of color. Yeah. Right? At first they thought he was white. Oh, it's racist, shooting up, you know, again. And then they found out that he was a person of color, and it's like it just disappeared, like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we misinformed, but that was all I got from the bills.
Hey,
from what I read, I didn't see anything in there that was, you know, maybe someone can probably educate me more and say, yo, this is why.
Yeah, definitely leave that in the comments. Definitely leave that in the comments, man. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, but Anthony said it. He said they literally said it was a Jim Crow laws in 2021. That's what they were saying. That this is like the Jim Crow laws in 2021.
Yeah, I don't don't know, son.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme.
That's pretty heavy, bro. Like you okay. Like
I mean, especially with the Republican Party, where they've been screaming out about fraudulent votes and stuff like that.
all right.
You know that in their states they're going to try to crack down or
Sure.
change things up for
Yeah.
next election.
That makes sense.
So I don't see it as racist. I see it as more as they're just trying to prevent voter fraud in the way that they know how to do it.
Right.
But yeah, I like to learn more and be more educated on it, honestly, because from all for those two things, you can't tell me that's racist. Like I'm not.
Right. And I don't see it as like 2021 Jim Crow laws. Like, help me understand, because you bugging right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see it. Like, there's no way like we live in a society that's even remotely close to that. You know, I don't see it. Maybe I'm naive. I just don't see it. You know, I think it's easy to say that something is racist right now. That's just like the get out of jail free card right now.
Right.
Well, that's always been the attack on the Republican Party as of late. That they're racist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything they do or say is racist.
I'm gonna say that to CHH. They racist because they're not retweeting our and thumbs up in our episodes. You know what I'm saying? They're like, why? Because we Latino? Is that why?
Nah, they would say, yo, yeah, it's all for Latinos, Latino supremacy.
Is that what they're gonna say? That we're racist?
Yeah.
Yo, but all our guests are black. The founding member of TNC is black. You know what I mean? Like, we started this because of Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like, but some might argue he's really Dominican.
From the Bronx.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Shout out to comedian Chris.
Well, yo. So, with that being said,
is that it?
Did you have more to say?
Nah, man. We already at a $1:30, man.
Yeah, I don't even feel like that.
No, man.
So give him that word of the day.
Give y'all the scripture today. It's 1 Corinthians 15:21. For since death came through a man, the resurrection of the dead comes also through a man.
Let's go. Bars.
Okay.
Bars.
Dang.
That's bars.
Yeah.
Well,
that's bars, man. Yo, so did we miss any topics? Any comments before we go? Nah, I think we good.
Yeah.
Dan, they called you white, Switch.
Oh, word? I got them green eyes.
Get a righteousness, and I swear the dude on the top left was white. Maybe Jewish.
Nah, I'm Ephraim.
He's from the tribe of Dan. He's from the tribe of Dan.
What's wrong with these Edomites, man?
Anyway, we want to thank everybody for listening.
Yes.
For subscribing, watching these videos. We really, really appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Yeah. If you haven't left your reviews on Apple Podcasts, please do so. We like reading them, and obviously it would push us up on the charts. So if you haven't already, please do so. Thank you to everybody that's listening on God's Music Radio. We appreciate it. And don't forget, this Wednesday, unless something changes, Nick D will be on the show with us, chopping it up. So make sure you tune in 8 o'clock Eastern Standard, 5 o'clock Pacific. So yeah, make sure you get your merch.
And Nick D's on our playlist, right?
Yeah.
So
check out that playlist.
If you haven't heard of Nick D yet, check out our playlist. He's on there. He's got some fire. I think we posted one of his songs on CHHTS. Check that out on Instagram.
And Nick D, the UFC fighter? Nah,
not that.
The other one.
Yeah, it's the other one. But thanks again for listening. If you want to learn more about our show or any product or service that we talk about, make sure you check out the links in the description or in the show notes if you are on audio only. Once again, we appreciate you. See you Wednesday, 8 o'clock with Nick D. Peace.
Salute. Shout out to Ant.
Word.
I wasn't even ready for that.